So now the verdict finally came out, folks. I'm going to give you the overview. Ferguson, Missouri, in the area of St. Louis is now going into riot phase. If you haven't heard by now, over the evening of Monday, the verdict came out, and people are not happy with it. Many people. So if you say there's two sides here, those that sympathize and look for justice for the victim, Michael Brown, they haven't gotten any compensation. If you say that there's, on the other side, the people who think the PO, police officer, Darren Wilson, was justified or correct in what he did, then you may be one of those that enjoy the verdict. Don't shoot is the motto. All this you're seeing on yahoo.com, Yahoo News. So make sure you go over there if you want to know more. They're an aggregator, aggregating news feeds. Another one is Drudge Report, which a lot of people say is catering to the right wing right now. The right wing or the Republicans or the conservatives, and I think so. I see that he's taking a lot of money from them, or they are taking a lot of money. So President Obama's being quoted on Fox News. We do have work to do here. We shouldn't paper it over. See, this is another thing that I don't like, is that Drudge Report has to keep reloading while I'm reading it. Bunch of headlines, of course, giving you the worst case scenario, because I think Drudge is very sensationalistic and likes to fan the flames of any story, for the worst case scenario. Here's a recent picture of Michael Brown, I think earlier this year. That's what he looked like. Who is Michael Brown? I mean, here's this anonymous person, one of the masses, and all of a sudden he becomes the figure on the poster for justice or hatred. Justice or hatred, depending on how you look at it. Or you're just neutral and trying to wait to see what will happen. Well, now things are happening. You have the other headlines here, and let us see another article. But here we go to the Google search. Google is showing a lot of things all over the web being posted on the various newspapers, local news, regional networks. So it is a big story, folks. Let's take a look at hot trends real quick on Google, and I will guarantee that it's the #1 story, and it is. So we have to investigate this much further because it keeps going on. It is the #1 topic. That is United States based. Let's take a look at UK, which is England, Britain. um, they're not really following it. Isn't that interesting? Either this is wrong, Google is not giving us the facts, and they're saying this artist. Let's look at Canada. It would be hard to believe that Canada. Look at this. They want to watch this. Some old dead artist who died a long time ago. That's being pushed in their face. So, really, really fascinating. Like how everything is regionalized, either purposely or. Pick another country. Let's pick South Africa. Okay, that should be of interest. No, can you believe that this? I mean, get out of here. Let's go to CNN. This is the U.S. edition. And their quote says, "This ain't Iraq." No, this ain't Iraq. So, CNN is featuring this. It is the biggest story of the moment. No, we don't want to watch the commercial. Basically, I want to do a search on what does Ferguson mean, because it is part of what's going on. There's symbolism. So let's take a look at it. Ferguson is a Scottish surname. That's what I had presumed, because I had heard it before. Ferguson. I grew up with someone with the last name Ferguson. It is a form of the personal name Fergus. Fergus is derived from Gaelic elements: fear, man, and gus, vigor, force, man, force. Fear, gus, son. So it's what comes from fear, gus. Ferguson is what comes from man's force, man's vigor, man's choice. That's interesting. That is very interesting, because that sounds like what Michael Brown did and what Darren Wilson did against each other. Man, vigor, man, force. Ferguson just sounds like a place that inevitably will come to a clash. That's very interesting. I didn't know this until now. It's quite symbolic. Now, I'm not saying, everything that, Ferguson can just be put into the whole mainstream general mix of daily, activity. That's what it usually is, just like everybody else. You've got Smith, Johnson, Rocky Balboa, all these different sounding names, and everybody just under the same social zeitgeist. But when it comes to Ferguson, I think eventually its name is going to rise to fame under this meaning. We have, let's see, let's go back to the photo show that we were looking for. This is from the link. Michael Brown shooting, shot by a police officer. Here's Darren Wilson, an average looking officer that he doesn't look like he got beaten. These are the photos of him being checked out in the hospital. At this point, he knows he shot someone. Does he know that he's dead? Probably thinking, he could die. You know, the person that he made a life and death decision with. Here's the look of the man. Look into his eyes, look into his face, and see his expression. That's what this picture is important for. A lot of things are probably racing through his mind here. And this is the faces of the Ferguson protest. I'm a former St. Louis police officer, and I was a black man before I was a police officer. So everybody's playing these roles, you know. He's a police officer, then he's a black man first. You know, when are people going to come out and say, I am a spirit having a human being experience? When are people going to be able to say that they play that role? When are you going to be a spirit? When are you going to be a child of God, spirit, that cannot be seen, cannot be destroyed, cannot be fooled, cannot be taken, dragged down into the material filth and the mire, stuck in the mire? When are you going to be the loving, eternal spirit? When are you going to see yourself? When are you going to experience yourself? When are you going to put forth yourself as that truth? When are you going to do that? I never say I'm a black man. I never say I'm a white man. I never say I'm a purple man with green polka dots. I am a spirit having a human being experience. It's not what I am. Human being is just a state of going through mortality, going through the limitations, but having to learn and do everything in a certain way together with others that are slightly different, but we have more in common. We have more the same. We are all spirits, and we have to get this right. When you see all the stuff that's going on, it's not going the way it should be. Take a look now. Take a look at what we have here. These are the videos. These are the videos that are happening. These are just coming out. I'm showing you the most recent videos. Showing you the most recent videos just to close, because this is going to encourage you to watch and see what's on YouTube. You should come to YouTube. It will give you an overview if you do a search. YouTube will give you the news better than the news networks will, because you can do it yourself, personally fit it to yourself. That's why I always love YouTube in these occasions, for these massive events that are happening. What is going to happen next? I don't know. I think you should just stay tuned and look for my next video. Here's Anonymous. We will go out of the video with the Anonymous message.